Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Silver Rust Podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Deal. And this is my buddy, the co-host, Anthony. Welcome back.
Hey, good to be back after a fresh, brand new
Mm-hmm.
playoff victory.
After 32 long years, we do it, bro. We get it
We
done.
did it. God, I didn't even know what to expect. I don't know what to do. I don't know, how I should be feeling still to this day. Like, we're
Yeah.
recording this on Friday night. I still don't know how to feel.
It feels weird, right?
It
I'm looking
does.
at the divisional round like, we're really one win away from the NFC Championship game. What?
Yeah, it's weird to be, paying attention to my Lions this late in the year. Like
Yeah, it feels
that's
weird.
what's that's what's kind of blowing my mind. Like I'm watching podcasts myself. I'm watching national media talking about us. I'm like, they're still talking about us, and we're in the divisional round of the playoffs. This is
Right. It's
unusual territory for me.
it's January 20th, and we're
Yes,
still talking about the Detroit Lions. It
and the
feels good.
playoffs in the same sentence.
Yeah, it feels really good. Let's talk about
Hell
that
yeah, brother.
Rams game. We knew it was going to be close. We knew it.
Yep.
We said just win, even if it's by one, and it actually was by
Mhm.
1 point. But let's
Yep.
talk about it. Let's go through it. The offense in the first half, man, the first three drives, 21 points. Like that was an amazing start. Amazing start. So, what did you like about the offense the first three drives?
Well, you said it like just, fast start. Bam, like within the first few minutes of the game, we were down the field and Montgomery was scoring that touchdown. Gotta love that.
Mm-hmm.
I probably just got a bunch of weight lifted off of the coaching staff and the players. Just yep, we belong here. We're good to go. The game plan is gonna work. And so I felt like that was a really good start to do. Obviously, the red zone, nailing that the first few drives, always got to be happy with that success. Um, that's what I loved in those first three drives, just fast, quick, and just establishing your game plan and showing your identity from the get, just of, that you guys came to play today.
Yeah, I really liked. One thing I really liked is Dan Campbell didn't change up. He didn't in the regular season he was aggressive and all this, and you get to the playoffs, it's like, he's the same person. He fourth and two in the red zone. He says we're going for it, and we get Laporta on a touchdown. Like he's the same. He didn't get scared or the being in the playoffs. It wasn't too big of a moment. It was like, okay, maybe I should be conservative. No, he just stayed true to who he was, and that's what I love. So yeah, for me, offensively, those first three drives, we just dominated. Like our run game, Montgomery. That first drive, that's when I was most nervous about. I was like, oh my goodness, can we, show up? And it was just like, business like usual for the offense for the first drive, and we scored. And yeah, those first three drives, I think what stood out to me, just the O line did its thing. Run game was good. We're passing the ball well. Reynolds, those first three drives was insane. So, I was really impressed with that. And then, but we couldn't. Our defense slowed down the Rams a little bit. Like in the red zone was really good. Even those first three
Yeah.
drives when they scored 17 points. So, just that Puka wide open touchdown felt like we could have avoided that. Like, he just that motion. I don't know, messed Cam up and he got wide open. And then that Atwell touchdown too. He tried to jump the route and not Cam, but it was Veldor, I believe. Tried to jump the
Yeah,
route
Fillmore.
and
Yep.
yeah, he missed. And he scored a touchdown. So, but with that, we went into the locker room. What it was 21-17, I believe so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the score in half. Like, I know we were up.
Yeah, and
Uh,
then we come out that game. We get a couple more stops. Get a couple more stops, and they were getting some stops. We only scored 3 points the whole second half, but they only scored six, and that was huge. Like our red zone defense, like they were big time, man. I remember the Cup versus C.J. Gardner Johnson. Like that was big time right there.
huge.
And so, and I know there's a lot of Rams fans complaining about the calls, but there was a lot of calls I did not like for the Lions, like the on the Lions side. Like there was Gibbs when he went out of bounds. There was a late hit. He didn't get called. They didn't call that. Then there was I can't think it was Golf. I think Golf got hit late or something, and I'm like no flag. And but the one that really bothered me was a Taylor Decker one. They called a false start, and
Yeah.
we had him jump off sides. Like, what do you mean? How in the world did you call a false start? That was crazy. And of course, Rams fans are complaining about some rough in the pastures that didn't get caught in Stafford, and that's fine. I'm not gonna, some of them was, and then like
Yeah.
the one on Cam that didn't get called at the end versus Puka. But look, that's not why they lost. Or calling, the hit on Kirby Joseph. They just had a lot of excuses. That's not why they lost. They lost because they couldn't score in the red zone. Stafford was, what, 1 out of 6 for 6 yards? Like, they couldn't score in the red zone. And they had what? I think 3 trips. Only 3 trips, I think? And they got 6 points? Or 9 points?
Or 9 points. They got 3 field
Yeah.
goals.
So, I mean, you can't win the game of field goals. That's why you lost the game. And then, it's fourth down, about 4 minutes left, and Sean McVay got scared. He played scared, and that's why they lost. Those are the reasons you lost, not because of injuries or, non-cause or whatever. That's why you lost. And Stafford, he has some dimes. I ain't gonna lie. Now, there's a weird, City is not a big fan of Stafford right now, but he had some dimes. I was like, damn. That's what I do miss, but JG's our guy, and he did an excellent job, bro. He was locked in, and even though we didn't move the ball or score, we didn't really score a ton in the second half, obviously, but JG was still fine doing his thing. There was no turnovers on either side. That's crazy. And overall, when you look back at it, it was an intense game, but it was a classic game. That was by far the best game of Wild Card Weekend. That was a great overall game, and but and then we get a couple stops. They no PI call, whatever. We get the ball or they punt it. They could have went for it. They punt it, and we just don't give them the ball back. And I remember when it was also they only had one timeout because of the crowd. They lost 2 timeouts earlier, which was huge, and then we get the ball back. 4 minutes to go, and I remember they had to burn one after the 2 minute warning, and then we got that first down. Jared threw it. And it's funny. By Jared's hand, he beats the Rams. That's funny. Throws it to Amon-Ra St. Brown. First down, we win. But I didn't even know he won. So me and my dad, Ryan was sitting next to me and his dad, where we were standing there. We're like, okay, we need because it's like it was like 1:40 left or 2 minutes left, something like that. And we're trying to calculate it.
Right after the 2 minute warning.
Yeah, and we're trying to calculate it. But we're like, okay, wait, maybe we probably need one more first down, and then we see a knee. We're like, what? Oh shit, we won? We freaking won! But I was hugging my dad, I was hugging Ryan. Everybody in the stadium was like, bro, we really won this playoff game. And it was a special feeling,
Yeah.
there at home, anywhere, like for all Lions fans, it was a special feeling. Like we freaking won, bro. Oh my goodness.
I was the exact same way. I was so locked into that game, bro. Like I was watching it at home. I wasn't at the stadium, and I was just still like locked in. Like I'm standing, and I'm just like hyper focused on it. And then we get that play, and I knew it was a big play. I didn't know it was the big play
Yeah.
that was gonna lead us to the win. And like you said, like I'm like, okay, like what are we gonna do now? Like obvious, just run the ball, and we're good to go. And one more first down. I thought we had to get one more first down, or just
Me
like
too.
maybe just a few more plays. And he goes for the knee, and I'm like, I literally said the same. I was like, did we just win? And I just start like jumping up and down. I'm like running around my house. I'm picking up my son. Like I'm doing all the stuff, like
Man.
just freaking out. Like, and that's just I kind of want to know from Lions fans too. Like, and please leave a comment. Like, what does this win mean to you? Like what does
Hmm.
it mean to you? Like that's what I want to know. Like for me, like I started watching the Lions when Joey Harrington got drafted. Like that was like my first year watching the Lions, like actually like being a fan of the Lions. Um and it's kind of funny. So I know that my hometown team, but like Joey Harrington was on the cover of NCAA, I think like '03, and I found out the Lions drafted him, and I was like, oh my god, like that's my team because like my first Super Bowl was the Patriots versus Rams, and I was like a big like Tom Brady fan like back in the day, like those first few years of him going to the Super Bowls and whatnot. And I didn't really have a team; I just knew I liked Tom Brady. And then when we got Joey Harrington, I knew I loved the Lions. So like that's how long I've been a fan, and it's just been losing ever since.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember we went to the playoffs for the first time against the Saints, and like even that was crazy for me
Yeah.
because I hadn't never experienced that.
Yeah.
And just all the crazy calls, all the the refs screwing us, all the
Hmm.
the 0-16, the Matt Patricia years, going through all of that. I couldn't imagine dealing with the '70s, the '80s. You know, not winning it with Barry. I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine dealing with that atop of like what I had to go through.
Yeah,
So,
because they
you know,
they were close in the '90s. They had some good teams in the '90s. They
yeah,
couldn't do it. They only won one playoff game. It's like wow.
right.
So yeah, but like it just feels so unreal. Like I keep thinking about it. Like damn, we really won a playoff game.
I
Because
know.
for so long, we're optimistic. You, me, my buddy Ryan, some
Oh
Lions
my
fans,
God, us.
optimistic, and you're like, you believe you're gonna get a playoff win eventually, and you
Mm,
have potential to go Super Bowl, whether it was with Stafford, whether it was with even at Patricia at one point, and then obviously Dan Campbell and them. But when you actually get the playoff win, you're like, wow. Even though you believed in it, it just doesn't feel real. Like we predicted that, in the offseason, division playoff win. But when to do it, it's special. It's like, wow, what a year so far, and we're not done yet. And so, man, it's really special. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, some people got real emotional about it. Some people started
yeah.
crying. You know?
Shout out to the crowd. You were part of it. That crowd
Yeah.
was elite. The crowd
Oh
was
man,
elite. They
bro.
showed out.
Mhm.
And, Baker Mayfield even said, he
Yeah.
talked to the Rams and said that was the loudest thing they've ever experienced.
They said
And,
it
I
was the
know it,
fourth. They recorded it as the fourth loudest in
yeah.
NFL history. I'm like, holy crap! It was loud in there. Oh my goodness, it was
I wonder if it was the
crazy.
loudest, like, dome game, because, like,
Yeah.
Arrowhead and Seattle, those are outdoor
Yeah.
stadiums. And you got to wonder if, like, it's different for, like, a dome. Like, all that sound is getting trapped inside. And I
Yeah.
wonder if, like, it really affects those players. Standing room, I'm sure, was packed. Um,
Yeah.
and nobody, like, from what I heard, like, nobody was sitting down that entire game. It's just
It
everybody
was
was
insane.
into it. I'm surprised you still have a voice.
Yeah. I know, man. Dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even bullshitting you. I would, everybody's screaming. I'm screaming, and there was a couple times where I got dizzy because I just screamed
Yeah,
so much, and then I'm like, whoa! I had to like grab myself, like, okay, you need to calm down for a second. Get a drink of water or something, or
yeah,
pop or whatever I had, and just be like, bro, you need. We excited, but if you pass out and miss this, you're gonna be pissed.
yeah.
So it was, oh my goodness, it was so electric, bro. It was so electric, and I'm
Um,
expecting that
it's gonna,
Sunday.
it's gonna be just as. I mean, I think it's gonna be just as loud
Yeah.
Sunday
Oh yeah.
because the stakes are higher. I know the
Yeah.
stakes are really high for a wild card game, considering the Stafford, McVay, Goff
Yeah.
element of the story. But in the Lions, trying to get their first playoff game. But I feel like the stakes are just as high in this game because the Lions have not, been to the NFC Championship since '91,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is still a huge thing for us. Like we have the right, we're playing for the right to go to the NFC Championship game, and then we are 60 minutes away from a Super Bowl
Yep.
or playing for a Super Bowl. That's just crazy. And I
It's
just
crazy to think
back
about.
in '91 when we went to the NFC Championship, we had like nobody like believed that we were going to win that game. Everybody thought we were going to lose that game. Washington was the you know outrageous favorite in that game,
Yeah.
and everybody knew we just didn't have a shot in that game. Man, I don't even care if we play the 49ers. I still think we have a shot in that game.
Yeah. We
I
do.
don't care if it's I don't care if it's in Santa Clara. I don't care at all. I think we have a shot, just because of how we are, our culture, and our readiness to get these players ready. And just like, I don't know, man, it just feels like this team really freaking wants it.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I can almost like tell, like there was like a different gear switched in some players, like Hutch. Like, you could tell, man,
Mhm.
like it almost seemed like whatever energy he channeled against Ohio State, he is
Mhm.
channeling that energy
Yep.
right now. Like, it is go time. Like, that's just like that was like my thought, and I wanted to save that thought for this podcast and see like if
Yeah.
you kind of like resonated with that, because it just kind
Mhm.
of seemed like that Ohio State game, he turned it to another level in these past
Yeah.
few weeks. You look at the stats speak for himself. He
Mhm.
just has been turning it on to a different level. St. Brown has, he's Mr. Reliable 100 catch or 100 yards a game person. He even looked like he turned it on a different level. It just seemed like it meant more. Like when he broke a tackle, he just seemed like he wanted it more. I
Yeah.
don't know. That's just the kind of vibe that I got during that
Yeah.
game. I noticed it too from the Rams, but man, you could just see it a little bit more in us. And I honestly feel like that's another reason why we won that game.
Yeah. It was a dogfight. Even though after the
Yeah.
game there was a lot. Oh, it wasn't like a good game. It was like, hey, good game, opponent. Good game, Rams. Good game, Rams fans. It was not that. Rams
No.
fans and people around, people fans, they're mad that we booed Stafford. But I mean, like, here's my thing. Let's talk about the booing, right? Gotta talk about the booing. So, going into the week, all we heard was Stafford revenge game, which it was not a revenge game for Matthew Stafford. He requested out, and we parted ways. Both were good. It was no hard feelings regardless. But if anyone should be, he requested the trade. So if anyone should have hard feelings, it would be us. But there wasn't. We understood. Fans backed him. We supported him. Some of us, I went to L.A., wore his Lions jersey in L.A. There was a ton of them, and Lions fans all around the world supported his Super Bowl run. We all cheered for him. We all were Rams fans in the playoffs. We all we had him. We had his back. But now this is not a regular season game. This is different. This is a playoff game. It's one and done. You lose, you're out. Season is over. He was coming in to send us to not let us advance to the next round to end our season. So naturally he got booed. He got booed with the Rams. If you're a Ram player, you're getting booed. And he was a Ram player, is a Ram player, so he got booed. Now, some of it, every time, like the coin toss, he did get booed too, like individually. So some of that, and maybe if the media didn't spin this weird narrative where it was all Stafford down our throats all week, oh, he's going to break the Lions fans' hearts, that's what happened. The media rubbed Lions fans so wrong that they were like, no, we're booing this man. Then, and in part of me, being a huge Stafford fan, like you are, and like my buddy Ryan is, we all love Stafford. He's my favorite player all time. But you feel you want him to get that love, but at the same time you can't because you're trying to end our season. Like maybe I would have preferred not. I don't want to say like the coin toss booing, but at the same time I'm not like mad at it because it's like he is a Ram. So and like for me personally, when I saw him, I clapped for him for a second, but that was it. Then it was like, okay, I gotta boo you now because I love you, but I gotta boo you. But I really feel like it's mostly the media's fault. They rubbed fans wrong, and then fans were like, no. And some Lions fans really, really pissed other Lions fans off by saying, oh, if we lose, we win because Stafford wins. You should never said that because that rubbed Lions fans wrong. I had fans outside of Lions fans in my group chat, my NFL group chat, say, well, if you guys lose, Stafford wins. You can't be too mad. I'm like, look, if that happened, and he better go in the Super Bowl. But I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be devastated. Just because my favorite player wins, I'm going to be crushed.
Right.
It's not a win-win. It's still a win. It's still a lose situation for Lions fans. Like, yeah, a former quarterback many love would go on, but our hearts would get shattered. We've been begging for a playoff win. So the booing for me, it should not be the deal that people made it to be. Kelly Stafford came on and said some lies, basically saying we booed kids, and then she retracted it, say, oh
Yeah,
well,
right.
they were booing me. Yeah, you know, no one's booing your daughters. No one's gonna do that. And if people did, we wouldn't support that. That's disgusting. We're not doing that. But you know, and it's just like I hated that because then there was a narrative for that. You know, all Lions fans, you know, everybody wants to make us the villains now, and then Darius Slay attacked us, and then he said, basically, essentially saying we don't deserve it now. You know, the players do, but the city doesn't. And then he's gonna say, oh, I love Detroit. No, bro, you can't. No, how do you love Detroit when you just trashed us? No, bro. I get it. Look, if this was the regular season and next year, I hope it didn't rub Lions fans wrong so much that next year we can give him a tribute and Lions fans won't boo the shit out of him. But there's so much bad blood now, and so it's a little worry. But I hope he gets a tribute. He should get a tribute, just not in the playoffs. And people are so soft. They were like, you know, oh, you should give him just 30. No, if fans don't want to do, you can't tell fans how they should react to the enemy coming in. That's not fair. Oh, Lions fans have never been here, so they don't know how to. Well, it's true. We haven't been here, but guess what? We can do whatever we want. We don't. If we don't want to cheer a guy, we don't have to cheer a guy. He's not on our team. So I don't have a problem with it. And Stafford's my favorite player all the time. Your thoughts?
So to add to that, there was a photo that the NFL tweeted, like the NFL page on Twitter tweeted. It was just like this AI photo of Stafford coming back to Detroit, and it had like the signs saying like "We love you, Stafford," blah blah blah, welcome back. And it was just like this media, the media is just turning this like they have totally got the wrong read on this game. If this was a regular season game, Stafford gets a tribute. If this is a regular
Mm-hmm.
season game, we're not booing him. He gets a
Mm-hmm.
standing ovation. He gets a
Mm-hmm.
tribute, and he gets that warm welcome. He gets all of that.
Yep.
He could have been named Bob Baffert for all I care because that was not the quarterback that we were rooting for when the Rams went on that Super Bowl run. That's not the player that we were rooting for. This is a guy that wants to end our season.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, you hit it on the head. It just was totally spun out of proportions. I feel like that's
Mm-hmm.
why the Lions fans, wanted to support Jared Goff and just like let him know, no, this isn't about Stafford.
Yeah.
You're our quarterback. We
Yep.
support you. We've moved on. Do we still
Yep.
like Stafford? Yes.
Yeah.
Do we appreciate what he did for us? Yes.
Yeah.
He stuck it out as
Yeah.
long as he could, and uh, it was the right time for him to leave.
Yeah.
He was ready, and I think like it was just time. Like we needed to move in a different direction, and
Yeah.
it worked out for both of us. There's no bad blood at all.
No.
It was just a little upsetting that Kelly Stafford had to say what she said, and you can
Yeah.
always rely on her to say something. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
her mouth gets the best of her,
Yep.
and I'm just over that because like there was Rams fans and there was Vikings fans talking about Kirby. It's
Yeah.
just there's so many things. It's just like that's not a dirty hit for Kirby.
No, and Rams fans, they just were attacking Lions fans, you know, and then they try to play the victim and all this, and it's like, you know, you guys, we supported y'all. You know, you had your
Right.
run, and you're complaining about the refs, you're complaining about this Kirby Joseph hit, which the Rams social or the Rams social media, whoever released the sight and sounds for them, they should be ashamed because you're just adding to the fuel. Because Stafford said, you know, told Kirby he was a dirty player. Rams should have never released that. They should have never done that because now Stafford has that. Now he said that, so people. I can't wait to see when we obviously won't get a. He's not getting questioned now because season's over, and you know. But I want someone to bring that up eventually. You know, when they can have a media session with him and be like, "So you think Kirby Joseph's a dirty player, or was it a heat in the moment?" You know. But then he said things like, "Oh, I seen it on the film." I'm sure he's talking about the Vikings game when he hit T.J. Hawkinson. You know, and you can be upset at the hit. You can not like that hit, but it's not a dirty hit. It's not Kirby's fault. You know,
Blame it on
and
the NFL.
it's
You
the NFL's
can't
fault.
hit.
Like,
Yeah, you can't hit above the
nope.
waist without getting a penalty nowadays.
Yep.
and they are trained to hit below the waist.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, like I love Stafford and all, but like he had a tendency, even with us, to kind of throw his receivers like into bad traffic. Like he got Calvin Johnson injured multiple times because he would just chuck it up. And just even Tom Brady has said it before, like it's your job to make sure that you're
Yep.
not getting your players killed out there.
That's what I was gonna
And
say.
yeah,
Is Brady? He did mention that. Brady says, you got to be smart. I wouldn't dare throw over the middle with Ray Lewis because
yeah,
he's gonna knock my play out the game. So, and it was not. You just like you hung him out there, and then he bobbed the ball, and gave Kirby time to hit him. And
yeah.
even Harrison Smith said, he said, I don't like the hit, but he said that's what the NFL wants us to do now. So, and what happened? Laporta was going out of bounds when they hit his brace knee. They tried to go for his brace knee. Lions fans ain't like, oh, you guys are dirty. That's football. And
I mean,
when did the sport we love so much get so soft for
dude,
just hitting? Like,
I saw Vikings
what?
accounts saying that this was Bountygate all over again because
Yeah,
Campbell was underneath Sean Payton. It's just like, oh my God, y'all are just
yeah,
trying to spin a narrative. You guys are just trying to just cope like so hard with this. I mean, you guys just don't.
yeah.
Like, I get it. You guys are in shock too. You guys don't know how to react to the Lions winning. I get it, but like this ain't
Yeah, that's
it,
what it
bro.
is.
This ain't it.
They don't
But,
like that we're good because
yeah.
before. See, here's the thing, and I've seen it. It's around the league too. Nobody likes that the Lions are good. It's Detroit versus everybody, even when we're good. Because look,
Well, it's
we're not
not
the.
like that's I'm not I don't get that vibes. I get like everybody wants us like the vibes I get is people want us to win. And like, if their team loses, then they want us to win. It's just these Vikings fans, it's these salty Rams fans, and I guarantee it's gonna be these Bucks fans after. Um
Well,
but
I don't know. I've
and
seen it. I've seen it a little bit where like it just feels like maybe not everybody. Some are happy. Some are honestly like, yeah, we want you guys to do good. It's your turn. But some are like envious. Like they don't want us to be good. But the thing is, like what I was gonna
yeah, we
say,
got some haters.
yeah, what I was gonna say is we're not the joke of the league anymore. So, but now they're trying to turn us into the villain of the league. But I don't care. I'll take being a villain of the league over a joke of the league because you can't say we're not a good football team. You can't say
Right.
that no more. So you got to come up with some new stuff, which all they can say, oh, you're dirty, you're dirty. You know, but I mean, they can say we're a
Say
physical football team. How football is intended to be played, that's how our defense wants to play football. We're physical. People don't like that, and I'm like, you guys, some of these fans, bro. I'm like, you guys would not have liked Ray Lewis. You guys would not have liked the defenses in the '90s. The early
I
2000s, even like. What are you?
like
Come on, man.
go look up Ed Reed, Brian Westbrook, and Troy Polamalu highlights and see if
They
like see how fragile you guys are after that
they
because
would
this
think
is nothing.
they would think those men deserve prison time.
Oh, not Brian Westbrook. Brian Dawkins is what I
Brian
meant to say. Yeah,
Dawkins, yeah,
Brian Dawkins. Every time, like I remember the highlight video,
man,
like back when I was like 12 watching that, and
yeah,
I used to love that. That was like my thing. Like I used to
yeah,
like safeties used to be like my favorite position because
yeah.
they just always laid out everybody.
Man,
And
and when you come up, when you watching your favorite team, and when you come up and see one of your defenders pop somebody, I don't care what fan base you are. If it's your team and you see one of your guys pop somebody, you jump out your seat. You're hyped. Yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
that's football right there. But then when the other side, oh, it's dirty, it's injury. No, no one's like I tell you this. You might not like the hit, and it did result in two players tearing their ACLs. That sucks. But
suck.
you gotta you can't complain about that he's doing everything the NFL wants him to do. So I mean,
Yeah,
gotta hit him. And
if
it's
there
not
was
that like Tom Brady said, it's not the defender's job to protect the offensive player. It's not.
right,
You're
no,
trying to score on him. You're trying to get yards, a touchdown to him. He's not gonna know. It's not his job to be like, "Are you okay?" No, he has to make the tackle. He has to get a stop, man. His job
yeah.
depends on it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just like the narrative's going on. Like, even my wife is like, she's like, "Oh, I heard the Lions got a dirty player," and I was just like, "Oh Lord, here we go." And she goes, "Oh, I've seen the hits," and I'm like, I had to explain to her and whatnot of like, it's the NFL's fault. Like,
Yeah,
And like if it was like a different player, like let's say it was Kirby the first time, and if it was like Tracy Walker the second time,
Yeah.
this is doesn't get talked about.
It is just so unfortunate. Like I can't believe that. Like I'm sitting here like, damn, it really happened to two guys. And it's like, what do you want Kirby to do? Like, what do
Right.
you want him to do? Like, I mean, he can't go high. That's a penalty. And you really can't. There's nothing he can do. He's doing it. He's doing what he's taught. And then people are attacking Dan, and Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn had his back. And people are attacking Dan Campbell. Oh, he needs to be investigated. Why? Dan Campbell, he's a great coach. He's never going to actually try to hurt somebody. He's probably one of the most genuine guys there is. You know, so yeah, I think it's just they got to complain about something, bro. They got to.
I
And
think
see, Vikings fans think this is only a 1 year thing. Like, oh, Lions fans don't know how to act. Well, you think we don't know how to act now? Good luck. The next 7 years, 8 years is ours, buddy.
yeah, I mean, it's just a a new leaf is turning now because y'all better get used to it. Man, they tried to they tried to paint this villain story back in 2013 14 years when we went 11-5. We were the villain then because of Sue. Sue had a few
Yep.
dirty play, and they were dirty.
Yeah.
Looking back, but like they did turn one player into turning our whole team dirty, and
Mhm.
they're doing it again. And
Yep.
it's just like it's just you guys need
That's
to
how they
find
cope.
something else. Yeah, that's how they
Yeah.
cope. And
That is.
I never thought like Packers fans would be like the most enjoyable fans out of
Right.
the division because I used to hate them. Like when they were winning like
Yeah.
crazy, like a lot of them were just stupid cocky, and maybe it was a little bit of jealousy on my part. Like I wanted to be like that, but
Yeah.
man, the it's just the hate from the Bears and the Vikings fans
Yeah.
this year has been
Packers fans have been so like, I mean, whatever. I haven't seen much really at all, even on Twitter, which is crazy. You see a lot of shit on
yeah.
Twitter, but Packers fans have been cool. But they're also, here's the thing, they also worried about their season. They're winning. They're a good
Right.
football team. They're like, we don't care what the Lions are doing. Cool. They're not concerned. They have their own shit. See, the other
Yeah.
teams don't. They're out the playoffs, and now Rams fans are cheering against us. But can we
Like,
talk about how they disrespected Jared Goff? But they're mad at us for booing Stafford. Like, you guys
yeah.
literally trash this guy all the time, and
Right.
they're mad that Stafford outplayed Jared Goff. I don't care. I don't care. I'll be the first to tell you that I still think Stafford's overall the best, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. That don't mean nothing. That doesn't mean Jared Goff isn't. Doesn't mean he's not good. He's a
Right.
damn good quarterback, man. And
Yeah.
I want us to win it all with him. I don't care. I really do, because how special that would be, man. And that's
Oh
why I
yeah.
loved when we were chanting Jared Goff, bro. That made him feel so good. We let Stafford know like we're gonna boo you, and then we're gonna turn around and chant our quarterback. Like I love that moment was special because Jared Goff he got done dirty. McVay has said
Yeah.
it. Les Snead has said it. They did him dirty, bro. And he deserved that. And that win, I mean, he said all the right things. He didn't, beforehand, and he just like his emotions were in check. He deserved that, bro. And now we
Yeah.
got that out the way. I'm excited. Jared Goff. He's not a perfect quarterback, but man, when he's locked in, when he's kept clean, he's a damn good quarterback, bro. He really is, man. So
Yeah, when he has to get the ball out hot, he is probably top three in the league of like, hey, like I know a blitz is coming. I got to get this ball out hot. He
yeah,
is top three in the league of just I got the ball, bam, and he throws it,
yep.
and it's top three in the league. That's why like and I think he knows he's not good under pressure. That's why like he really has to study on the blitz and get the ball out as quick as possible. But like if you're
Mhm.
gonna be good at something, be elite, and he's elite at that.
Yeah. And people
And
get
so
confused. People get confused being under blitzes and under pressure. They just assume they're
yeah,
the same exact thing. So they'll be like, "Wait, no, Goff's terrible under blitz." No, he's not. It's when he gets under pressure, you have to actually get pressure on him and move him out the pocket. You do that, yeah, that's gonna be his flaw. That's his flaw, extending plays and stuff. But when he's in the pocket, man, I've seen him deliver some dimes, some absolute lasers, bro. And I'm like, and like you said, he has a lot of great things about him. Great against the blitz. He's great with play action. And so I really appreciate him and his leadership, man. He just like he's came to work, man, since day one.
yeah,
He's just stuck with us, and he's been so such a positive like energy guy that comes in day one. We start 0-10, and he just kept fighting, man, just kept fighting, and at a time when many assumed, including myself, maybe he's just a bridge quarterback, because you didn't really know, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, he just got us our first playoff win in 32 years. He was the quarterback that did that. So
Hey,
he's getting a contract
you know,
extension. He's earned
whether
it.
it's right, whether it's fair or not, he's done something Stafford couldn't do here,
Yeah,
and it's not, it wasn't all Stafford's fault, but like he did something that Stafford couldn't
yeah.
do here,
Like I'll
and
always say that Stafford still didn't. It's not his fault he didn't have the teams. And that's true. But the bottom line is Jared Goff is the quarterback of the Detroit Lions when they won that playoff game. That's the bottom
yeah,
line.
yeah,
And
it is.
so, and I believe honestly, like I really didn't know if I did, but I think I really believe that we can do this. We can win a Super Bowl with JG. We can do it. Like, and I need it because he deserves it, man.
When he
Man.
when he got that game ball at the end, and Dan Campbell said you're
Oh
good enough
man.
for Detroit, that gave me like chills. Like I
Yeah.
rewatched it like days later, and just
Yeah.
like kind of see if like it would do the same thing. Nope, still got chills.
Yeah.
Um, and
It's
I saw
that
a
was
video.
awesome.
I saw a video of Lions fans after the game, when they were like waiting for like the players to like come out driving,
Yeah.
and
Oh
Jared
yeah.
Goff, he's getting driven around, and man, the fans are just rallying behind
Yeah.
his truck, and so you run this city, you own this city, like all
Yeah.
this stuff, like
The
you're the
King of the
man.
Detroit. Yep.
Yeah, you're king of Detroit. Yeah, man, like he had the biggest smile, and it was just like God. It's like from seeing him to 0-10-1 to
Yeah.
this is it's such a good story, man. It's
Yeah.
such a good feeling. And when we won the division, and the reporter brought up 2021, and he got choked up, it was just like
Hmm.
that really affected him. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
like that got me choked up. That he was choked up. It was just like, man, like he wants this. Like he
Yeah.
feels sorry for the players that were a part of that,
Yeah.
and
And he,
it was tough times.
bro, he is so Detroit, man. He's everything. He went to school in California, and then eventually the Rams moved there, and he was obviously a Ram, and you know, but you didn't really know it. But he's a Detroiter, man. He's just like
Hell yeah.
everything we embody, and he's so easy to love. Like you can't help but to cheer for this man. He wants to win so bad, and he got done something got done to him that never got done to Stafford. Stafford never really got thrown. He never got thrown away. No, people didn't think he was ever going to be a bridge quarterback, or he wasn't good enough for his former team. He left us, and they threw him away without even telling Goff. Like, they just like, oh yeah, you're gone. You got
Right.
replaced. Someone else came in, took your job. Or you're gonna go take his job.
His head
But
coach was scheming against them in Cabo,
yeah,
or with
yeah,
him as a
they
quarterback.
were
Like,
there. Like that's
yeah, at the same
crazy.
time. Yeah. It's almost
And you
like
got to imagine,
some
imagine what
tampering
that
in
felt
the
like.
play.
Imagine what that felt like, right? So 2 years before that, I think it was 2 years. He didn't like he was a part of the team that went because I don't like to put on one quarter. I don't like to put wins or losses on a quarterback. So, but
Right.
he was an essential part of them going to the Super Bowl, right? And
Yeah.
then things don't work out. 2 years later, he's actually hurt in that playoff game. They won it though. Then they lose in the divisional round, and then they just, oh yeah, Goff, you're going to Detroit, and Detroit's coming off firing, a new regime firing Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn, and you're going there. There's not much talent. There's not much, Detroit fans, coming off a horrible regime, going to a new one. We don't know what's going to happen, and you don't really know about Detroit. You're going from LA to Detroit. That doesn't sound great. You don't know what's going to happen, and then you have the first season's tough. Oh, we start 0-10-1. Like it's
I mean,
hard. It's heartache.
that was
It's just like
that was that was like my hardest season as a Lions fan.
yeah.
I probably my least watched Lions season since I've been a
I remember
fan,
we
because
talked.
like
Yeah,
there was no Stafford. It was kind of just like hard to like just find that player on the team of like who you were going to be rally around.
yeah,
Who was gonna, like, I remember my wife asked me like, "Oh, who's your favorite player on the team?" It's just like I don't even know.
yeah.
Like I
And we
was like,
weren't very
"Oh,
talented.
yeah."
You know,
I was like,
and
maybe Swift.
I was honestly like I didn't like Jared Goff first, but you see, I was going through some things personally where I was just kind of mad already, and then my favorite player, like I was already heartbroken already, and my favorite player just that's another different heartbreak. So I'm like, oh, Jared Goff, I don't. He's not Matthew Stafford, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you just can't help. That was not fair judgment. A lot of Lions fans did that. Oh, he's just gonna be a bridge quarterback, no one. And then all of a sudden, we get our first playoff win, and you're like, okay. And then the following, you get hot. The Lions, when I say hot, we only won 3 games, but you're beating Green Bay, actually back-to-back years, at the last game of the year. That was funny. We beat Green Bay. We get the number 2 pick, which I was pissed about because I'm like, oh, we're going to miss on Hutch, but obviously we didn't. Thank you, Jacksonville. But, and then the second year, you go into it, you feel a little bit better. And then, we start off slow again, and then you're just like, damn, maybe we're going to go for a quarterback. Then all of a sudden, everything changed that second half of last year, bro. And then look at it. And you couldn't help but cheer. Like, I kept trying to talk myself out of Goff. You know what I mean? I kept saying, well, no, he can't be the guy, right? No, we don't. We want a superstar. Cool. We got him next Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes type. We got to get that kind of guy if we want to win a Super Bowl. No, you just need a guy that loves this city, that loves his team, that loves the game, and he's a good quarterback. We had, in my opinion, one of the most talented arms I've ever seen in any quarterback since I've been watching football, and Matthew Stafford. And what did we win? We didn't win anything. And yeah, maybe he's not Stafford, but if you build a team, you build a great football team around him, he can win a Super Bowl. He's not a bad quarterback. That's like acting like he's a terrible. No, he's a good quarterback. I think overall he's definitely a top 10 guy. I think this season he was top 7. I mean,
oh yeah. He had a
and what I
rough
love
stretch this year, but
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
What I love about that,
top 8, top 7 quarterback in the league for sure this year.
yeah. What I was gonna say about that is what I really like. I like to see if a quarterback can bounce back, if a coach can bounce back, if a team can bounce back. That tells me a lot about them. And Goff had a couple rough spots in that game, this season, and he bounced back every single time, And I'm like, man, that's so Detroit. Like, I love that. You get knocked down, you get up. Get knocked down again, get up. You get knocked down again, you get up again. You keep getting up. You don't stop. You don't quit. And that's what Goff is, bro. And he embodies everything Detroit is. So he's one of us. He'll always be remembered. He's a special person, special player, and I love him. So he's our guy, bro. And
oh yeah, that's what I got in my notes. I'm so happy for Goff, man. Like,
yeah,
my notes literally just say I'm so happy for Goff, man. It's just that was like probably one of the best parts of that game was just like and I feel like the reason like why we stood so behind them was because of the narrative that about Stafford's coming home and this is this and that we're just gonna be all cheering for Stafford. It's like the fuck we are like
right.
No.
This is Golf City.
Yeah, yep. And the Rams posted a thing on Twitter. It's like, oh, whose house is it? And the Lions are like, oh, it's Jared's house. Or
yeah, I seen that. That was great. I love that because it is.
Lions Twitter wins.
Right, and it wasn't about Stafford. If anything, it was about Goff. But even Goff was like, this is about us. No one else. This is about us. This is about Detroit.
It's about the Lions doing something that they haven't done in 30-something years.
Yeah.
And getting that monkey off our back. And I don't care. SOL's done. I mean, no more.
It's done. It's gone.
It's done. And just thrown away. And that just feels so good, man. That feels good, too. Like, we are not the same old Lions. As the Pat McAfee likes to say, we are the brand new
Lions. And that's what we are.
It's almost weird, man. Did you see that thing 2022 where Peyton Manning and I forget his name, but they did some reverse curse inside of Ford
Field. They broke the curse.
Yeah. Ever since then, man, we went on that 8-2 run.
Yeah.
We made the playoffs this year. We won our division.
Mm-hmm. Got a playoff win,
game. And it's just
curse is over.
What did they do?
Right.
I swear.
Man,
so wild to me.
It's special, and this is gonna be something that lasts for a long time. We might lose Ben Johnson. We might lose Aaron Glenn, but as long as we got Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, those two guys in charge, We're gonna be
I feel
fine.
all
We're gonna
right.
be just
Right.
fine. So I'm excited about that. But let's talk. Let's we think we talked enough on the Rams game and the drama afterwards. They can
Yep.
keep talking. We're moving on because we can, because we are. We'll go. We got the
Yep.
Bucks. So let's talk about these Bucks. I picked them to beat the Eagles. They beat the Eagles. That defense is really good. Baker, he's another great story. Tough quarterback. And he's bounced back big time. Cleveland, I don't know. Maybe they shouldn't have got rid of Baker, bro. Because look, Watson hasn't exactly worked out. They gave up all those picks, and Baker's playing good football. He's playing good football. They got really great receivers, a good running back. Solid O line. They got some guys in that O line that's really good, like Tristan, of course. So
Yep.
give me your thoughts on. Let's preview this game and give me your thoughts about the Bucks, a new opponent, next opponent.
So I want to get this like through Lions' heads. Like this is not going to be a blowout. I've seen a lot of fans thinking just because we beat them 20-6 in week 6 that like we have this game in the bag and
Yeah.
it's going to be like just a blowout. No, we can lose this game, and
Mhm.
I'm worried about this game. Do I feel better about this game than the Rams game? Yes, I do. I did not want the Rams in the first round. Um,
Mm.
but I do feel better. Just because I feel better about this game does not mean we can't lose this game. Like we can, and they have a really good blitz. Todd Bowles loves the blitz. He got after the Eagles really well last week. The Eagles did not know what to do, and
Mhm.
the Eagles didn't look like they wanted to play. And I think we'll do a better job picking up their blitz than the Eagles did. But that doesn't mean anything. If they're hitting home on their blitzes and they're pressuring Goff, and Goff does what he's been doing under pressure and just not getting the job done, and we fall down, 14-0, 17-3, whatever, because they have explosive receivers. Even their third receiver, Gage, and can do stuff. If they get out ahead 17-3, we could be in for a long game, and we might not be able to come back into that game. And that's what scares me. They're good at stopping the run. I mean, granted, we didn't have our two running backs last time we faced them, but in general, they are good at facing the run. And I don't know, Baker's he's got that confidence going in him too, just like Jared Goff has. And, he's ready to prove something too. And that scares me too. But, like, well, I think that us being at home in this game is huge. I think that our running game being healthy and our offensive line still being healthy is huge. I feel like those are going to be the two main factors in this game. I was worried about Aaron Donald and Kobe Turner last game of pressuring Goff a lot. Man, they only held them for 4 combined tackles between two players. If
Mhm.
we can just hold up on that blitz, that's what I'm worrying about because like I'm not going to worry about them just rushing fourth, and they're going to be bringing that blitz all game long. If Jameson Williams could have a big game and just where they're blitzing, but he's wide open because he's left 1-on-1, I honestly feel like this game could get out of hand for the Bucks. It honestly could go either way. If we get out ahead 17-3, they could be in for a long day. If they get out ahead 17-3, we could be in for a long day. So it's really just it's going to be a balanced game. I honestly feel like this is going to be a back and forth game. I do think we come ahead though in the end, and I'll save my prediction for the end of the video. But I do
Mhm.
think like we can come out of this game ahead. But I just wanted to get that to Lions fans. Stop being so overly confident about this game. It's a playoff game. It's the divisional round. This team did not make it this far for nothing. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. We're not gonna cover the spread. I think spread's like 6.5 in favor of us.
Yeah.
We're not gonna cover it. It's probably gonna be 3 or 4. Point win. So but yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. Defense is tough. They stop the run. I'm really curious to see that matchup though, because we didn't last time. But yeah, they're a good run defense, man. Our interior line and everybody's gonna have to really be on their best so we can run the ball. Because we got to try to have some kind of run game. Um, Hopefully we can attack them. I seen something that their versus motion, they're 32nd in the league, and we do a lot of that. Very creative. Ben Johnson's very creative with that, and that's so. Hopefully, we can take advantage of that. And I know on the back end, I think that they're probably not as strong, but they do got some guys back there, and especially Winfield. He's really great. But defensively, we gotta come. Our offense has to come and show up, and Vita Vea, he's gonna be tough, especially against the run, obviously. The rookie, what's his name? I know we were looking at him. Tip of my tongue.
Gosh, I know.
You know who I'm talking about? The defensive
Yeah,
tackle.
so he got
'Cause we
picked,
were
right,
talking about him in the
right
draft.
after. Yeah, he got picked right
Oh,
after Jack
Cansey.
Campbell. Yeah, Kalijah Kancey.
Yeah,
Yep.
Kalijah Cansey. Yeah, he's been
Yep.
playing pretty good. He's getting some pass rush. Going. So, and then the blitz. You got to watch out for that blitz. Pick up the blitzes. Don't let Jared get too much under pressure. And if they blitz you, make them pay. St. Brown, he is not going to be covered 1-on-1. Laporta, he'll be more involved this time. Gibbs in space. And then Reynolds. Reynolds underrated. And then I want to see Jamo. It feels like we're so close to his breakout game, right? We feel like it's so close. So, he's getting the reps. He's getting better. He's getting more comfortable. Any day he's gonna break out, man. I will not be surprised if it's this game. So that last game, but it's just any day. So I think
the game because
because they're gonna. Yeah, they're going to blitz, and that's going to leave a lot of opportunities. We just got to take advantage of them.
He did get a touchdown the last time we faced them.
Yeah. So it's going to, if they're going to blitz us, fine. Just pick them up and make them pay. Then offensively, well, that was offensively. I meant defensively for us, they got some receivers, man. Mike Evans, last time we kind of kept them in check. Don't really know how, but we did. But this time, they're gonna come. They're gonna have their best games. They're gonna try to have their best games. And I want to see a Cam Sutton redemption, kind of game because last couple matchups haven't been great for him. But he had to play JJ twice and Lamb and then Puka. So I want to see him just settle down. You're a good cornerback. I believe in that. I still believe he's a good corner. Couple bad matchups, couple bad plays. That happens. Just bounce back. You're a good corner. You're not gonna get beat by everybody and all the time. So. I want you to go out there, and if you're covering Godwin or you're covering Evans, I want you to, settle in and do your thing. And then I think I can't wait to see, Branch and CJ. I think having them both in the lineup is so great. And Iffy, Kerby. So I like that. And then, James Houston might play. Hopefully get some good reps from him because he's going to have some one-on-ones, bro.
Yeah.
And hopefully that helps Hutch out, and then hopefully Liam and Hutch have been honestly doing their thing though. Like you said, Hutch. You said it earlier. Hutch has just turned on another gear, 7 sacks. Was it 7 sacks? Yeah, 7 sacks in 3 games, bro.
Yeah.
What the hell? 20 or 30 pressures, couple hits, tackle for losses,
The sacks that he got last week against the Rams, they weren't even impressive.
Yeah.
Because one of them was Stafford falling.
Falling.
He just touched them. Man, the pressure that he was getting and the hits that he was leaving on Stafford.
Yeah,
as
bro.
the ball. Dude, Stafford turned around and said to him something.
Yeah.
Turned around and looked at him
he was like, all right, bro, here we go.
Yeah. And then turned it on.
Bro, he honestly, he whooped Stafford's ass. I didn't notice it really as much. But you look back, you're like, well, he had at least 5-6 hits on Stafford, maybe more. He was smacking his ass. I was like, damn, man. So, yeah, and then Campbell's getting better. Jack Campbell's getting better. So defense is pretty healthy. I want to see. It's gonna be a tough matchup for them. Look, it's gonna be tough, but I want to see them show up. One thing about their defense last week, yes, that was a tough matchup. Stafford's great still, but that red zone defense was awesome. They did such a good job. I'm proud of them. And
bend but don't break defense, and because that's what we did. It was bend but don't break. Just limit those big plays like we did after in the second half, man. Because Dan Campbell said it. We got to limit the big plays, and we did it. As long as we can limit those big plays, because the last time we faced them, Mike Evans was wide open for a touchdown, and Baker overshot him.
And then he also dropped. I'm sorry, but Evans also dropped one on 3rd down. You
Yeah,
got to
yeah, I
imagine
remember that one.
those type of plays won't probably come as often. They're not
Yeah,
gonna have miscues, and they're that was early in the season, and they're not gonna drop balls on third down. Like you can't rely on that.
yeah.
So yeah,
And you can't rely on the turnovers that we got too, because I'm pretty sure Baker threw like 2 picks that game.
yeah,
He is playing a lot better, and they got a good offensive coordinator too down in Tampa, who's been interviewing for some jobs too.
yeah,
So, they got a good offensive mind at play calling. They got young scrap or not young, but they got a scrappy quarterback like us trying to
yeah,
prove something. The they don't write. They're not a great running team, so I'm not too
yeah.
worried about that. And
And
their
I mean,
defense,
White is pretty good, but
yeah,
our run defense, like he's solid running back. I like him. I like his game, but our run defense has been so good. Like I'm not like
yeah, that's why
I
I'm
don't.
not worried about it.
Yeah, they
It's not
should do
like
their thing.
Jonathan Taylor is coming to town, or
No.
Derrick Henry is on the other side. That's like what I mean. Like if it was that, like I'd
Yeah.
still like not be like too worried, but like it's
Right.
still like it's not. It's just not a top 5 running back on the other side. That's all I mean
No,
by
and our
that.
our run defense has been so good. Like, you
Yeah.
trust them. And I know fans. We're gonna be favored, and a lot of people are gonna pick us. And that's scary for sometimes for fans. But Dan Campbell is not gonna have that mindset. He's gonna have them ready, and he's gonna be like, you can't sleep on this team. He's a great coach. He's gonna have them ready, like they need to be ready. And I think if Evans goes off or Godwin, we can only allow one of them. We've been able to beat teams or damn near beat teams, and have a receiver go off. Puka went off. Lamb went off. We should have beat them. Um, Justin Jefferson went off, and we beat them. Swept them actually. So yeah, so I mean, it can have. You just can't have like everybody going off. Godwin and
Right.
Evans can't both go off. Baker can't throw for four. I mean, he just can't throw touchdowns. You know what I mean? I mean, throws a lot of yards. It is what it is. Stafford threw 350, but
Mullins threw
just
400.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, just you don't let them. Like you said, it's the big plays. Don't let them get
Yep.
a whole bunch of big plays. Be sound in your run defense. Make them one dimensional. Make them throw a lot. And if they get behind, they're gonna have to. So you do that defensively. I think that will give our offense plenty of opportunities to, you know, win this game. And offense just got to do what they've been doing all year, man. I know it's gonna be tough to run the ball. It's gonna be tough, but offense line, let's go to work and do something. You don't have to run down their throats. I don't know if we can, but we do have the backs that can break this game loose, man. We can wear them out with Monty and Gibbs, dude. They're mismatches. They're different, and they're really a great duel together. Like, so you do that. The play action. Laporta's gonna be a lot to handle. Saint. Hopefully Jamo Reynolds. Goff's gonna hopefully he's on his game doing his thing. So all that together, especially if they're blitzing us, man. I just want to get, they're going to have to respect our run game. We're going to, even if we can't run the ball well, we're still going to they're still going to have to respect it because we're going to still try, of course. That's the way we are. We're a
But
team that's going to play you 4 quarters. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. That's his team.
bite
That's
your
Dan Campbell.
kneecap off.
You said what?
We're gonna bite your kneecap off.
We are. We are. So be prepared for that. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, so I feel good about this game though. Like I feel like we should win.
It's just because it's the playoffs that I get a little nervous.
Same.
Our season could be over.
Yeah.
And I think
You
that's
can't
like
sleep.
that.
You
But
can't sleep.
that's why I love the playoffs, man. Like
Yeah.
I want this. I love feeling like this. I love being nervous for a game on
Mhm.
on Sunday. Like I miss this because I haven't had this in a minute. Like, oh, the
Yeah.
Lions tomorrow. Not really nervous, just hoping they're gonna win.
Right.
And
Now it's
now it's
like
like,
I told
man,
myself,
I need this.
yeah. I told my girlfriend and a couple people like, as long as they win last week, I'm be cool. I'm not gonna be stressed anymore. Get division playoff win come next week. I don't care what happens. I'm not gonna be tripping. I'm not gonna be stressed. No, no, I'm getting there now. I'm like, oh wait, I actually really want to win this game too. I'm selfish. I want to win another one, bro. We,
I
we
know,
won away from the NFC Championship game. Screw what I said
right?
last week. I want this. I want this maybe more now because we done it once. Let's do it again. So, We are wearing our blueberries. Hopefully, we don't get our first loss in them. That would suck.
Right.
But I don't think we will. I'm confident in them. I'm excited. I want this. One win, bro. One win, and we're in the NFC Championship game. Which, if Green Bay wins,
Yep.
we would get
It's
another
possible.
home playoff game. NFC
Yeah.
Championship game in Detroit. We could get our revenge versus them and go to the Super Bowl.
Man, if
That would
we
be pretty
win that
special.
game, if we win that game, like there's gonna be like we're gonna burn that city down, and then if we win the Super
Man,
Bowl, we're gonna burn it down again. I'm telling you.
again. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, Niners should win, but
Yeah.
Packers. Only reason I say that, I like the Packers team, bro. They're gonna give us headaches for
Yeah.
the years to come. And I
Yeah.
like Love, but they're just a young team, very young team. That's why. Same reason if we lose to the Niners is kind of my thing too. If we go to the NFC Championship game, of course, if we win this game, of course, can't sleep. But we are a young football team still. We're I think the fifth youngest team in the league, which is pretty impressive for how good we are. So this
Still
speaks
lack
volumes to
experience.
yeah, speaks volumes to our front office and our coaching staff how good we are so being so young. But yeah, but let's not look too far ahead. Let's take care of business this week. Let's get this W. But let's do some predictions for the game.
I got a final score of 27-23 Lions. I honestly just feel like we, make the right plays at the end and make just more defensive plays than the Bucs. Kind of like a play like where either Baker throws a late pick or Goff just leads the uh, team down at the not at the final minutes, but just like a go ahead touchdown. And I
Hmm.
just feel like it's gonna be a back and forth game, kind of like a chess match game. And the team that just makes the most plays wins. And I honestly feel like we
Yeah.
we can do that, and we're better equipped to do that.
Yeah, I like that. So I actually have a 4 point in our favor too, but I have it 28-24. And
Gotcha.
for me, we're going to score a touchdown. We're going to go up by 4 points. And then we're going to get pressure late on Baker. He's going to throw an interception, and then we're going to run the clock out and win the game. So I think that turnover will be the difference. Obviously, if it's a game-winning one. But what I mean by that, I think there might be no turnovers up to that point, or maybe 1-1, and then that will give us a second one or our first one. We'll win the turnover battle and close the game out. So yeah, that's our predictions, and let's get this W, bro. Let's get this W. Let's
Well,
let's
I
let's
cannot
enjoy
wait.
this moment too.
Right,
Enjoy. Don't forget to enjoy it, guys.
right.
This is special.
I mean, it really is, and just kind of like just taking the moment too. Like that's what I
Yeah.
did last week. It was just like kind of take it all in. Like so, I've never
Hmm.
like I even sent it to you. I was like, take it all in, guys. Like you've never felt this before,
Yeah.
and it's true. Like just take it all in. Enjoy the ride.
Yep. Yes,
And
sir.
but like I still want this. This is not like house money. I'm not treating it like that. I want this, and I have moved the goalpost. If we do lose this game, the season's not a failure. I'm not going to say that, but like I will
No.
be slightly disappointed that we didn't win the game,
Yeah, because
and
you
because I
definitely
feel like
feel like we should win this game.
right, we're favorites, and I feel like we
We're
have the
home.
better team. We have the better quarterback. We have the better coach.
Yeah. Yep.
All of that. So yes, I will be slightly disappointed. Well, I think it's a
Yeah.
great season. Hell yeah, I will. But
Yeah.
I will be feeling at the then like the game like man like if we just would have done this or if we just would have
Yeah.
done that, you know, and I don't care. But still happy with the season, win or lose. But let's go get that dub, man. Let's go.
Yeah. And Dan Campbell, if it wasn't for him, I would feel a little more nervous. I feel like being everybody's expecting us to win and shit, but he just has us ready. He's a great coach on the verge of becoming elite. You know, so and he's just gonna have us ready and let's get this W. Let's just get this
Hell yeah.
W and go to the NFC Championship game, bro.
Right, and just have 60 minutes against the 49ers, man, or
Yep.
whoever. Just 60 minutes, and then
Yep.
you're in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Why
Win
not
this
us?
game.
Yeah.
Win this game and see what happens.
Right.
So, but let's get this W this weekend.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. All right. Anything else, Anthony?
Uh, Go Lions. One pride.
Yes,
That's
sir.
all I got.
Go Lions, guys. One pride, all grit, baby.
All great.